Hey, g'day folks, how you going? Welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, then a special g'day to you. Last week I uploaded a video of the official opening of the big tractor in Carnamah. If you didn't see that, I'll put a link at the end of this video so that you can go and check that one out. It was a great day. This week we're going to be looking at the formal speeches. The politicians all had a 2-minute limit, and surprise, surprise, they all pretty much kept to it. During the speeches, we heard a little bit about the history of the Chamberlain Tractor Company and the process of getting this big tractor built. It was a very informative and was worth listening to. So let's get started.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Bowman-Bright, and on behalf of the Carnamah Big Tractor Committee, it is my honour to welcome you to Carnamah on this auspicious day on which we launch this imposing monument to Western Australian agriculture, manufacturing and heritage. Before we get started, I would very much like to acknowledge the country on which both we and the Big Tractor stand, the country of the Amungu people, and to pay respect to their elders, both past and present. To kick things off, I'd like to introduce you to Mel Isbister, the President of the Shire of Carnamah.
Go for it, Mel.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Shire of Carnamah, councillors and the community, I acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and their continuing connection to land, water and community, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I take this opportunity to welcome all invited guests, Honourable Sandra Carr, MLC, Honourable Melissa Price, MP, Mr Shane Love, MLA, Ms Marone Beer, MLA, TrackMac Committee President and members, Carnamah Big Tractor Committee President and Committee, and all DIAB staff who are here today. It is my pleasure to acknowledge the vision of the Vintage Tractor and Machine Association of WA, TrackMac, who have linked with the Carnamah Big Tractor Committee to turn a conception into a reality. The combined efforts of a passionate team whose cohesion, drive and ambition to achieve has enabled Carnamah to be the home of this amazing sculpture. The design and construction of this very unique replica of the original Chamberlain 40K, originally built in Welshpool, WA by Mr Bob Chamberlain in 1949. DIAB engineering are to be congratulated on the reproduction of this massive replica of the Carnamah 40K, the Chamberlain 40K. For all the DIAB staff involved in the construction, how very proud you must be to have been involved from conception to completion of this amazing structure. And I am aware that DIAB have come down today in a bus, and that there's many staff here celebrating this amazing achievement. It is appropriate to acknowledge the Shire of Carnamah staff who have liaised with the Big Tractor Committee and DIAB Engineering to enable us to be here this morning to witness the official opening of the Big Chamberlain 40K tractor. As we travel around our beautiful Australian country, we are reminded to take our memories and leave only our footprints. This amazing sculpture of the Chamberlain 40K not only leaves a massive tie print, but pays homage to our Western Australian farming history, our culture and achievements, and ensures that they are not forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you, Mel. Up next we have local state government politicians, and they have both graciously agreed to speak for only 2 minutes each. Up first is the Honourable Sandra Carr, MLC and member for the Agricultural Region.
Good morning. That sounded more like a threat than an invitation to speak, I have to say. Good morning, Carnamah. Wow, big tractor, big crowd. That's really impressive. I must say, when I arrived today to pull up and see the tractor, I've only really seen images of it to date. I was absolutely blown away. The photos that don't do it justice, and seeing truly is believing. I'll open today by using a shorthand and abridged version, and that is to say all protocols acknowledged to acknowledge the traditional owners and all of the special guests here today, because there's so many people in the community, I guess, who are also very special and have made a significant contribution to this huge tractor and the attraction that you've created for your community. I'd like to acknowledge the TrackMac for coming together with the community and putting together this amazing initiative and driving it forward and seeing it come to fruition for the community, because it's a gift that will go on giving for Carnamah and also the surrounding areas. I think it'll attract people here, but not only here, but driving through this whole region. So it's something that Carnamah has done for both itself and the region. I'd also like to recognise Diab Engineering. What an amazing piece of work they've done. I was wasting time on social media last night, and there was conversation about whether those tyres were real. There was so much conversation and chatter in amongst the community, and people were arguing over whether they were real rubber tyres or not. So they have done a spectacular job. It's really impressive. I also have attended a few events around town, and the big tractor has been a topic of conversation. So the work that you've done and the contributions you've made as a community really are yielding benefits and results already. I am also just going to quickly acknowledge the state government financial contribution via our wonderful Midwest Development Commission, and just say that we're really pleased to contribute to this project. Thank you so much, Carnamah, for the opportunity to speak, and I believe my time may well be up. Have a great day.
Thank you, Sandra. It wasn't a threat, I promise. I'd now like to introduce you to Shane Love, the MLA for Moore, Leader of the Nationals in WA and Leader of the Opposition.
Thanks very much, Andrew. It's a great pleasure to be here today. What a fabulous occasion this is for Carnamah and for the Midwest, and a testament to the TrackMac organisation, to Bob Lucan, who came up with the idea, to Hal Walton, who provided the place for it to find its home, to Diab Engineering, who have put this together, everybody who's been involved with the Big Tractor Committee, which I believe has raised over $600,000 and put this together with very little government help. So I commend all of those people who have been involved, and this is, as we know, 5 times the size of the original 40k Chamberlain. And it does say up there, made in Australia, but we know that it's actually made in Western Australia, and it's a West Australian legend. And so we stand in the middle of the Midwest grain-growing area in what is a town which is known as being rock solid, and this is a testament to just how rock solid this Shire of Carnamah, this community of Carnamah are, as long as all of the people of the North Midlands. And farming is very much the centre of life in these areas, and long may continue to do so. I would like to acknowledge that we have had so many people contribute to this wonderful tractor today that probably there should be 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 people up here. I get to be up here and have the very rare privilege to speak today on this, and I'm humbled by the work that people in communities all over Western Australia put in for their communities, and this is a standing testament to the work of the people of Carnamah, the work of the people of TrackMac, and Diab Engineering, who have put this together in the Midwest, and this is sitting here in the Midwest, a great testament to this great region. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak today, and I'll wind up my 2 minutes, but just say congratulations, enjoy the day everybody.
Thank you, Shane. To mirror Shane's comments, we are very pleased that the big tractor was manufactured here in WA's Midwest region, and to say a few words about its construction, I'll hand over to Jesse Winchburst from Diab Engineering in Geraldton.
Thank you for the introduction, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Tractor. Today we gather to celebrate a significant milestone, the completion of the world's biggest tractor. This moment is not just about the final product, it is also about the journey it took to get here, the challenges we faced, and the incredible teamwork that made it all possible. From the very beginning, this project was ambitious. It required not only technical skills, but also creativity, perseverance, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. For each For each person involved, they played a vital role in bringing this vision to life, and I'm sure you'll agree the hard work and attention to detail have truly shone through. With approximately 2,300 individual parts, what has taken a staggering 21,000 man-hours, 62 individuals can etch their name into the manufacturing and construction of the world's biggest tractor. Fabrication first started on the 10th of November 2023 and site construction finished on October 1st, 2024. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the long hours and the moments of uncertainty we faced. It is easy to focus on the end result, but it was the hard work and the dedication of each team member that helped get this tractor chugging along the finish line. But before you ask too many questions, no, unfortunately it doesn't actually drive. You have to pay extra for that. No, but together we have pushed the boundaries of what we thought was possible, and the outcome is a testament of the collective efforts of not only Dive Engineering, but everyone who was involved. As we look ahead, this achievement serves as a reminder of what we can accomplish when we work together with a shared purpose, and I'm certain each and every one who comes to see this monument for the first time will be equally as impressed as we are proud to have built it. It started from a dream some 30 odd years ago, and today, after all these years, it is my privilege to be here with all the people from TrapMac, witnessing what once was a dream finally coming to fruition. I'd like to thank you all again for coming, and from everyone at Dive Engineering, I hope you all enjoy this very special day.
Thank you, Jesse. The idea to create a giant replica of the Chamberlain 40K tractor has been championed by the Vintage Tractor and Machinery Association of WA, otherwise known as TrapMac. To give us a bit more of the backstory, we'll now hear from TrapMac's president, John Piovani.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of TrapMac, I welcome you all here to the unveiling of the largest replica steel tractor in the world. This project was the brainchild of Mr. Bob Lukens, the founder of TrapMac some 40 years ago. Down there, Bob. As we are still fundraising, a temporary sponsors banner is displayed over here. Once all monies have been received, a quality sponsors board will be erected on the site for all to see. I would like to make special mention of our engineering draftsman, Mr. Frank Kidman, who unfortunately couldn't be present here today. Just a little background, we borrowed a 40K Chamberlain off Mr. Damien Fitzpatrick and parked it at Frank's front door. Some 460 hours later, all components were measured, scaled to working drawings. We also had 10 or 12 trips to Carnamah and Geraldton during the organisation and construction phase. All this time being kindly and willingly donated to the project by Frank. I have no doubt, without Frank's input, we'd not be here celebrating this momentous day today. We're hoping to have some live streaming to him. I must also thank Mr. Dick Garnett, who was a major sponsor of the big tractor and who has donated the original 40K that you see out there today. That tractor has been kindly restored by Hal Walton and his workers from the Tractor Museum. The big tractor at a later date will be housed in a shed in the area here, and we'll have the audio machine working by then, I hope. I will now call on Mr. George Fowler to come forward and hand the books for the 40K tractor over to the Carnamah Historical Society. George?
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
The 40K Chamberlain doesn't have a key, so these are the original books for that tractor. That's going to be the official key.
Thank you very much. We will definitely look out for it, especially if I get out of the museum.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In closing, On behalf of TrackMac, I would like to thank Diab Engineering for their quality workmanship and cooperation throughout the construction and the site erection. Special thanks must go to the Big Tractor Committee for 5.5 or 6 years of commitment to this dream. Last but not least, it's been a pleasure to work with Brendan Heisler of the Carnamah Historical Society, who always had the attitude that we would make this happen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, John. One of the reasons Carnamah is so synonymous with Chamberlain is thanks to Hal Walton's impressive Chamberlain and John Deere Tractor Museum. Hal is now going to share with us some Chamberlain history.
Thank you. Well, good morning all, and hello everyone. Welcome to Carnamah for the celebration and unveiling of our monster tractor. It is a replica of the first Chamberlain tractor built in Welshpool, the Model 40K. There was 411 of those built, and 11 in the first year, which was 1949. It is wonderful to see so many people turn out to share this opening, news of which has spread far and wide, with several people or more visiting from the eastern states joining us here today. The 40K first rolled off the assembly line in May of 1949, with 11 tractors being the first of a total of 403 being built. Chamberlain went on to produce a total of 53,600 tractors. A huge effort for a West Australian manufacturing company. You see here the Monster 40K, and alongside it a genuine production tractor, which has been generously donated by Dick Garnett from Ongarra. Chamberlain Industries was started by two brothers, with the help of the WA government in the Welshpool factory, and the company continued building Chamberlain tractors right up until 1987, the last model being the Green 90 series. Chamberlain also made Chamberlain implement range of disc ploughs, combines and chisel ploughs, which were sold in their thousands all through Australia. This monster before you came about through the imagination of Mr. Bob Lucan, who's already been mentioned. He's somewhere in the audience here, right there in front of me. G'day, Bob. It was to be erected in Noangarup. However, fortunately for us, the Shire there decided against the project, and Bob called me asking me to approach our council and see if they could be convinced to take the project on. Instead, I accepted the offer immediately, believing we could complete the project privately with only a small consideration and help from the council. As you can see, it is an asset for our town and will be here forever to be admired by thousands of tourists and West Australian farmers. Diab Engineering has got to be congratulated a second time for the excellent job they've done in producing it. As usual in all groups of people of this size, there are critics. But the only criticism I've received is the handbrake release handle is on the wrong side of the lever. And that made me laugh. I'm proud to have been involved in the project with a cost of around $680,000. I thank all of the generous souls who contributed, and I am sure that you will now be happy with the end product that is in front of you today. And that's about all I have to say about the big tractor. I hope all of you thoroughly enjoy your day and feel very, very pleased that you made the effort to come and visit. Now, in all communities, there's a workaholic who doesn't matter what sort of task you give her, she stands up and doesn't make a complaint. And I have a small gift to present to that person from Carnamah, and that's Kelly de Bruin. Kelly has helped with the administration of our efforts, and I now hand you to Brendan Heusler, who took over the reins from me when I left town.
I'm not getting up.
You don't have to get up there, but you have to wait to get your presentation.
Although the players were killing
Good on you, Kel. I know all of you, or many of you, come from other small communities, and therefore I'm sure you appreciate more than a lot the efforts that a girl like Kelly puts in to a town like ours. So thank you very much for listening to me. Enjoy.
Thank you, Hal. Now, on to the man who led the charge to make it happen here in Carnamah, local farmer Brendan Heusler.
Thank you very much. I wish Andrew had given me a 2-minute limit, because unlike our esteemed politicians, this is not one of my strong points, but we'll see how we go. Australia has always been the lucky country. It could be said that WA is the lucky state, especially during the 1940s when the state government enticed Chamberlain brothers to set the Chamberlain Industries engineering works up in a musician's factory in Welshpool. Carnamah also has to be one of the luckiest towns in WA. Lucky that Hal and Terry Walton chose Carnamah from the thousands of WA towns to establish T&H Walton Stores machinery sales and service franchise, which has been the mainstay of employment and the economy of our community ever since. At one stage, T&H Walton Stores was the largest Chamberlain John Deere dealer in Australia. There was one financial year during the 70s where Hal had sold 99 Chamberlains. He was racing around the countryside trying to give one away so that he could get to 100. For those of you that know Hal, you'd find it very hard to believe that he'd give a tractor away. Sorry Hal, I love you, but I had to throw that one in. Hal has been a massive contributor to the Big Tractor project in so many ways, and he really got the ball rolling in Carnamah to get it to Carnamah. In 2004, we were also fortunate that Afgri Equipment began their foray into the Australian machinery market by purchasing T&H Walton Stores franchise, continuing on with the outstanding sales and service to not only the agricultural sector but many other industries statewide, along with supporting many rural communities. Afgri very generously jumped on board as our major corporate sponsor very early in the piece, which was a major boost at the time and gave us a lot of confidence that this project could actually become a reality. Afgri supports so many communities all over the state by sponsoring and donating to so many projects and events in regional WA. Their support and generosity of all our small communities and organisations is very much appreciated. Round of applause. Carnamah has also been lucky to have Andrew and David Bowman Bright return to Carnamah, bringing the North Midlands project to the Midwest region with a strong focus on strengthening the social fabric of our communities through heritage, culture and the arts. Andrew is a descendant of one of the pioneering and still current farming families of Carnamah, the Bowmans, and has been the treasurer of the Carnamah Big Tractor Project Committee and has always gone above and beyond just that role. He holds many other volunteer roles throughout the community. His knowledge and passion for community has been invaluable. Carnamah is also fortunate that Noangarup also pulled out of the project, allowing us to jump in with TracMac, beginning the great partnership we've had over the last 4 years. TracMac, the Vintage Tractor and Machinery Association of WA, is an amazing organisation of over 550 members who all have a passion for restoring and preserving the history of all sorts of machinery and celebrating the pioneers that were integral in building our agricultural industry to what it is today. They also have a huge role in educating the likes of my generation and future generations to what our forefathers and mothers went through. These days, if our air conditioner breaks down or the auto steer drops out, we park up the machine until it's fixed. These old fellas were out working the fields in these tractors with no cab, not even power steering. Rain, hail or shine, ploughing the fields, clearing land and harvesting the crops. These days we have a bit of a sook if we get a bit of oat or barley dust on us. These blokes were out open air doing their jobs all day, every day. Bob Lukens, the founding president of TracMac, came up with the idea of building the giant Chamberlain tractor. It's been mentioned many a time, Bob. It really got up a full head of steam in 2018 when John Piovanini, the current TracMac president, met Frank Kidman, the engineer draftsman, who set about drawing up the plans to build the 5x replica. Frank wore out the path from the original 40k that was parked outside his office to his computer, where he measured up every piece of the tractor and punched those details into the computer. He completed hundreds of pages of meticulous plans and drawings that were of extremely high quality and accuracy. Frank contributed hundreds of hours and thousands of kilometres to the project, and the man's passion and eye for detail is a quality you rarely come across. Frank can't be here, but I have his brother here just to say a couple of quick words on Frank's behalf. Gordon.
Thank you very much. I'm so proud of my brother and what he has achieved here, but he's in England at present and he sent me a speech to read to you, so I'll just read that and I won't take 2 minutes to do this. It goes like this. When John Paganini was... where's my glasses? Thank you. I'm a bit of a comedian, eh? When John Paganini was asking around for someone to do a sketch of the giant Chamberlain 40k tractor, I was only too happy to oblige. I've always been interested in the evolution and have had fond memories of the 40k my father had on the farm, on the family farm. Well, I completed the sketch and one thing led to another, and the next thing, a real-life Chamberlain 40k had taken up residence in my shed, and I was busily working on production drawings for the 5x the size. I was thrilled to be involved in the project, and I have recently retired and needed something to do. I thought I was stubborn, but that was before I met the members of TracMac and the TracMac committee. They never gave up through the backing down of the original site, a global pandemic and a change of government and fundraising being knocked back. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of this wonderful sculpture. I call it a sculpture because it really is a sculpture, you know, and it's gone viral. And it's going to bring a lot of money, a lot of benefit to all the towns from Perth to Geraldton. You know, people are going to come inland now, and once the nomad starts, the grey nomads start spreading it around, you know, it's and the other thing, this thing has gone viral. It's all over the world now, and people say, wow, I've got to come to Australia to see that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Frank. Yeah.
Thanks, Gordon. When Frank, when we were visiting, through our many visits to Diab Engineering through the build, Frank was like a kid in a candy store. jumping around, checking the progress checking the progress at Diab Engineering. He could spot any little anomaly, and as superintendent of the build, worked closely with Xavier from Diab to overcome many of the little issues that popped up while building this world's first structure, usually finding a solution within hours. I can guarantee you all of this tractor would not be here today without the tireless efforts of the current TrackMac president, Mr. John Piovanini. It has been an absolute pleasure to work with John, and his passion, knowledge, tenacity and never say die attitude has truly been an inspiration. There has been so many challenges and hurdles to overcome over the last 4 years, and John has always been able to find a solution, always with a humorous anecdote or story thrown in. I could go on about John for hours, but he'd kick me in the arse and tell me to get on with it. I'll just say that if I was called to war and I could only take one person, I'd make sure his gopher was charged up and I'd be taking John. He simply doesn't know the meaning of failure. Dick Garnett, a true pioneer of WA, has also been a huge source of advice, along with being one of the most generous people you could meet. Dick donated not only the original 40k, but so much more during the journey. Dick's love of Chamberlain's is evident, and he's driven these machines all around Australia, as well as coast to coast across the United States. There's so much history and knowledge behind Dick and Barb, I hope we can capture and preserve. Thanks to the TrackMac organisation and every one of your members for allowing Carnamah the opportunity to run with this project. TrackMac as a whole have been the largest cash donor, along with probably doubling that in kind. We look forward to continuing this partnership well into the future. TrackMac will have a stall at the Country Carnival, so get down and have a chat and join up as a member to this amazing organisation. Lindsay Isbister, curator and restorer at Hal Walton's Tractor Museum, who was also senior mechanic at T&H Walton Stores from the early days, has also been an invaluable source of knowledge and advice and in-kind support in so many aspects of the project. We obtained I've got another page and a half to go. We obtained quotes from Perth engineering firms first up to build the tractor, thinking it was too big for a regional firm. How wrong we were on that one. After being pointed towards Diab Engineering in Geraldton and a couple of visits to the workshop, it was decided to engage Diab to take on the build. The team, led by Xavier Sequeira and Jesse Winch-Buste, have gone above and beyond the original scope of work and have been an amazing crew to work with. I'm sure it must have given them a chuckle and possibly a breath of fresh air, and when instead of a mining executive walking into the office, there was a group of older machinery enthusiasts, a couple of middle-aged cockies and a truckie from Carnamah wanting to build a giant 75-year-old tractor. There have been so many challenges as the structure is unlike anything attempted before, and the Diab crew, along with Frank, worked tirelessly to overcome them all to ensure the giant replica will be standing here in another 75 years. They're also very generous in allowing access to the workshop to inspect and view components throughout the build. Quality of work and attention to detail and the obvious pride that the workshop crew had in what they were achieving has shone through to create this spectacular monument. The Carnamah Big Tractor Committee has evolved over time, Hal Walton being an integral part of the project, especially getting the ball rolling in the beginning, along with our then CEO Vin Fordham Lamont. Vin jumped in boots and all with us and did a mountain of work to really kick-start the project. Kylie Tremott also used her vast experience from organising opulence in the outback years ago to engage donors and secretarial work. As mentioned before, Andrew Bowman-Bright has been an absolute rock all the way. John Morgan and Brad Crimes have done a hell of a job behind the scenes, both younger men with young families who are passionate about the future of Carnamah and it being a vibrant community for the next generation. Kelly De Bruin jumped on board recently, thank God, and has been a massive role in organising today's event. The Carnamah Shire Council, led by CEO Rob Paul, Deputy CEO Ian Walsh and Works Manager Joe Douglas, have assisted with a generous cash donation and a huge amount of in-kind support. They've also taken on covering insurances, assisting in wading through the seemingly endless list of permits, approvals and paperwork required to ensure the project and today's parade and country carnival runs smoothly. There were many times the committee went like a bull at a gate with various ideas, and we were pulled up by council, but it was never a case of you can't do that, but more explaining that these are the steps you need to take to go through, and we will help you tick all the boxes. This tractor would not be eaten away without the generous donations of so many companies and individuals Australia-wide, with 30 grand from the Carnamah Shire Council and 10 grand from the Midwest Development Commission. That has been the only government assistance we have had. So the rest of the nearly 700,000 has been through private corporate donations. And also a $70,000 interest-free private loan that we've taken out to complete the project. This just shows the special place the Chamberlain holds in so many people's hearts and minds. We are still taking donations to repay that loan and also add to the interpretation experience and to improve and maintain the site over time. And who knows, maybe one day a giant plough will go behind the tractor. As previously mentioned, Africa Equipment jumped in early to become our major corporate donor. Then we have Beach Energy and their joint venture partner, Mitsui EP. Beach Energy are a South Australian-based oil and gas exploration company with exploration permits in Irwin, Three Springs, Carnamah and Minningu. They have worked in the Perth Basin for over 60 years, with Mitsui being a WA-based energy producer with 2 facilities in the Midwest, and they are a significant contributor to the development of a sustainable supply of energy to the nation and carbon abatement opportunities. Aglime Australia donated a generous portion of their lime sand sales from the Kalimba pit in 2022. Elga Engineering from New South Wales donated a $10,000 post rammer, which has just been sold on Ross's online auctions yesterday. Stewart's Engineering Esperance has also been a generous supporter, and so many more personal donations. Your generosity is very much appreciated. I would also like to make special mention of the Farm Weekly magazine and all of the reporters that have covered the story from the beginning, getting a huge amount of information out there for us, free of charge. I believe it's been a mutually beneficial partnership. I must also thank North Midlands Ag Society, led by Anne Stringham Barr, Smallwood and Scott Bowman, for their tireless efforts organising today. Also Richard Walker, Walker's Diesel, has made a cutout of a Chamberlain emblem which will go on site permanently at some stage. And also I believe we have Chamberlain apprentices here today that built these machines and did their apprenticeship at Chamberlain, so it's a huge welcome to you guys as well. Nearly done. I'd just like to read a quick article written by my father which explains so many experiences of farmers and people in the regions throughout the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. My association with Chamberlain began when Dad bought a Countryman 6 home from a clearing sale in 1969. It was bought to be used to develop a sandplane block west of Three Springs by pulling an 18-disc Chamberlain plough. Next, in 1973, a new C6100 was bought from Great Northern Motors in Three Springs. To save a bit of freight, I was given the job of driving it from Perth to Three Springs. We loaded the jewels on Brother Graham's ute and left Perth about 8 AM. It was quite a bouncy trip, arriving back to Three Springs just on dark after towing Dennis Young's broken down HD Holden car from Marchagee to Three Springs. On the dissolving of our family partnership, E.H. Heusler and Sons, in 1974, part of my share of the machinery was a Countryman 6. I then traded it on a new C6100 and a 28-run combine. I later traded the combine on 2 24-run combines and then progressed to the first Chamberlain air-seeder with a Deutz engine-driven fan and a 42-foot 1010 cultivator bar. I upgraded that to a 667 air-seeder, hydro fan, and a 275 bar, which was a really good setup. It was the beginning of no-till. Most of the above machines were bought from T&H Walton stores. I had a 30-disc Chamberlain plough in the good old days when we worked up, worked back and then seeded, growing half the crops that we do now. My first decent loader was a second-hand Chamberlain R1250. A new Chamberlain 4280 was bought in 9280 for spraying in field bins. There is still a 4480 with a forklift and a 9G industrial loader, 18-disc plough and a 306 tractor in use on the farm today. I bought a C670 loader a few years ago that needed a bit of attention. That was given to TrackMac as part of one of their raffles. So you could say I've had a lifelong association with Chamberlain. They built good, sturdy, reliable gear. The tractors had good high road speed. The only thing was, don't be in a hurry to stop because the brakes weren't great.
Thank you, Brendan. Before we cut the ribbon, I'd like to give everyone an overview of the many things happening in Carnamah this afternoon and this evening. On McPherson Street, there is a display of vintage tractors which will proceed around the War Memorial and up the street at 12:30. Moving up the right-hand side of McPherson Street, the exchange is open, showing the woolen costume Tina Stefano made to cover a John Deere tractor last year, alongside a screening of her short film, Backbreeding, which was created on a local farm here in Carnamah. Next door at the Bank Gallery is an exhibition by textile artist Deirdre Robb, who is presently in residence with North Midlands Project. And a little further up the street, the Carnamah Historical Society and Museum is open. Everyone is welcome to attend the official opening of the new Carnamah Heritage Park on McPherson Street. The opening will be taking place at 1 p.m. by the Honourable Melissa Price, Federal Member for Durack. Throughout this afternoon and evening, the North Midlands Agricultural Society are holding a country carnival, including market stalls, kids' activities, games, food and coffee vans. The bar opens at 3 p.m. and there will be live bands, Get Back and Good Strife, and through into the evening. The Country Carnival is taking place at the Town Oval at Niven Park and begins as soon as people start arriving this afternoon. If you are walking to the carnival, please enter by the main gate on Niven Crescent, or if you're driving, please proceed to the gate at the corner of Niven Crescent and Lang Street, which is down that way. Coffee and meals are available from One Hell of a Good Feed until 2 p.m. The Carnamah Hotel and Carnamah Bowling Club are both open for lunch, and there are a selection of food and coffee vans at the Country Carnival on the Town Oval. The Carnamah Post Office and Bush Basket is also open until 2 p.m. for coffee, giftware and cash out. If anyone would like to make a financial contribution, there is a donation box in front of the tractor. I do have an FPOS machine. All donations over $2 are tax deductible. That's more than enough from me. It's now time for the big moment. It might include a few suspenseful pauses as we start up the two vintage Chamberlains to cut the ribbon. Thank you everyone, and please have a wonderful afternoon.
Right, we're nearly there. I'd like to invite Peter Spur and Tim Bailey to prepare their Chamberlain tractors to fire up. So anyone around the tractors, please stand clear. And we will have Hal Walton and Bob Lukens to cut the official ribbon if it's still standing.